Hello and welcome to Bermuda. Hello and welcome to the World 10 Series. And boy, it feels good to be able to say that after all the challenges of 2020, and one of which for us has been that of Hurricane Epsilon, the tail of which is currently leaving the island, taking our hairpieces with it as it does so. And as the hurricane leaves, our team go to work to make sure we are ready for liftoff on Sunday morning. A 24-hour delay to the start of the World 10 Series, but a delay that simply builds anticipation. We've got half an hour now just to entertain and inform you as to what you can expect over the next 2 weeks. Hopefully lots of sunshine, some very fast-paced rugby as well, and we have got the Tweedledee and Tweedledum of 10s rugby alongside to do just that. It's a very warm welcome to two men who know their 15s and their 7s, and two ex-international captains as well of England in the 7s, Rob Vickerman and Ollie Phillips. Welcome to both of you. I think we're going to have to invest in a bit more sun cream for the next 2 weeks or so. Well, lots to talk about with you two, but we've also got some very respected broadcasters on board as well. From South Africa, Elma, Smit, and from England, Nick Heath. Back to back and across all the stories and the developments as they happen over the next 2 weeks. And I can tell you there's been quite a few of those already. But first things first, chaps. Sunshine, the pitch being laid. We are almost ready to go. How exciting, Rob, is it? Just, I suppose, be on the doorstep of something unique, exciting and innovative in the world of sport.
I'm as excited as it is windy, which is significant. I'm a bit upset we didn't get the Charlie's Angels style intro that Nick and Emma did pitch side, but how good is it to be back in rugby? We're talking about international players that we've missed so much that very shortly we're going to get to see. Yes, I am buzzing for it.
Lots of moving parts, as you would expect, given all the challenges that are going on at the moment. But we've got a blank piece of paper and a lot to look forward to as well. What is it particularly that's brought you out here? What is it that you're looking forward to, Ollie?
I mean, apart from the sunshine and obviously Rob's glorious shirt that he's wearing, I think it's the fact that it's the first time in 2020 since I can remember that we've actually had the opportunity to watch some live rugby and a different product, like something that's totally sort of ripping up the script and rewriting the rules, and that's what's so exciting about it. I think it's great to be out here and be part of something that is gives us something to celebrate in 2020 after all the COVID drivel that we've had to put up with for the last 9 months or 8 months.
I'm afraid there have been one or two impacts, I suppose, on the tournament due to COVID. We're going to come to those in a moment or two, but first things first, let's take you through the runners and riders of the World 10 Series here in Bermuda for 2020.
So let's get you up to speed. The inaugural World 10 Series. Pay attention at the back, here we go. Intended to be 8 teams, but, you know, COVID, so here are the magnificent 7 who've made it to Bermuda. The Miami Sun, a beast of an Englishman as head coach, former England 7s man Rusty Earnshaw. Canadian legend DTH van der Merwe, one of the experienced men. Former Wasp and now Rooney man Troy Lockyer, one of a spine of MLR talent in the side. Out of Asia, well, the Pacific. Okay, they're the Asia Pacific Dragons. Coached by a World Cup winner, Tonga head coach in Japan last year, Tutai Kefu. Samoan Tomasi Alasio is raring to go, plus former Northampton Saint Nafi Tuatuvaki. Expect the unexpected. The Ohio Aviators, the band's back together. Coached by Taylor Howden and one Kane Thompson alongside him, they've USA Eagles in abundance, plus 3 names here to keep an eye on. Sunayula, Canadian mountain Kyle Bailey, and the nippy Christian Rodriguez. There's some unfinished business in those stunning jerseys. The London Royals, head coach John Brake, a former England 7s man, telling his former teammates exactly what he wants from them. Dan Norton, Tom Mitchell, Rich the Carpentier, Tom Emery, AJ Davis, Tom Bowen. Is that 7 yet? It's basically England 7s. And Ben Foden. Phoenix Middle East Rugby, and they're giving a few of those ousted Southern King boys like Aston Fortuyn a team to play in. They're good like that. Bram van Straten is head coach. Look out for the Free Jacks Harry Barlow and cheater Carol Katsia. He plays for the Cheetahs. I'm not saying he's dishonest. Rhinos Rugby. Hailing from the academy in Southern California, these boys are an unknown quantity. Led by USA Eagle Mikey Teo, look out for Argentine Nola Goldwinger Dominguez and blonde-haired UCLA-based Englishman Patrick Regan. Their coach is called Rhino. His real name's Jonathan. SX10 out of Cape Town. Their hearts beat for Africa. One of them is Cecil Afrika. Chuck in the Kenyan 7s boys like Collins Injera, Oscar Uma, and some Southern Kings like JT Jackson, and these boys will eat you for breakfast. After they've had breakfast. And those are your World 10 Series teams.
So those are the teams for the tournament. we hope, because unsurprisingly, COVID has played its hand, and unfortunately, we've got one or two knock-on effects due to the pandemic that everybody is suffering from at the moment. We've seen, obviously, the impact of that at Twickenham this weekend with the England Barbars game. No one guilty here, I suppose, of breaking rules and regulations, but we have had to change things a little bit heading into this opening weekend. Let's head down to Elma and Nick, and you're going to talk us through, first of all, the team, I suppose, that's going to have to make a bit of a sacrifice, but then also give us your views, Nick. You've been out here particularly for longer than anyone else on how these sides are shaping up.
Yes, Alex, thanks very much. Yeah, we've obviously been here, some of us, a few days longer than others, and one of the great things about Bermuda is the COVID protocols that they've had. And I mean, we've both been tested. You were social mediaing the various details. I mean, it's thorough, isn't it?
It's very thorough, more thorough, I'd say, than the tests I've had back in South Africa before I flew out. A full 5 seconds in each nostril. I mean, they literally slow down the disembarkation from the plane. They test you as you walk into the building. You get your results within a few hours. They have been incredibly thorough. I did see on the Bermuda Twitter account that they are one of only 4 countries with a very high rating according to the CDC for the safety protocols they uphold here on the island, which is reassuring.
Yeah, it certainly is. So basically we have started with 8. We went down to 7 with a team from South America that weren't able to make it due to travel restrictions due to COVID. And then one of the players in the SX10 returned a positive test having arrived on the island. So we have then made sure that all of the right precautions have been taken. We've been in discussions with the local authorities here. That player's been isolated. The whole of the SX team has also gone into isolation as well. And we are in constant dialogue to basically make sure that we are doing absolutely everything we can to protect the rest of the teams who won't have been in contact with that team, the SX team from South Africa, who've been isolating themselves. And look, we certainly hope that everything is going to be back to normal pretty soon for that team. They won't take part in round 1 this weekend, but there's enough time for the tests to be done over the course of the next few days. The rest of the team, incidentally, were retested as well. They've all come back negative. The one player is being isolated. So it's going to be tough for those SX10 boys, but hopefully morales are being kept high.
Yeah, breaking news there. I did put in a call to the guys in camp. Coach Frankie Horn sounds very positive, says, listen, the vibe and the team has been very good. And Harry McNulty needs to get some credit because he is the technical guy behind this video entry we got from Cecil, Afrika.
Hi guys, my name's Cecil, Afrika.
Hi guys, my name is Harry McNulty.
And we are from SX10s. We are keeping positive and we're really looking forward to all the teams running out in round 1.
And we're really looking forward to round 2. We're going to hit the ground running next weekend.
Yeah, so bring your support. Let's enjoy it, let's have fun, and we'll see you in round 2.
Well, obviously, we wish Cecil and the guys all the very best, but paramount importance that we get this health and safety right at this point. And it's disappointing, obviously, for them, but hey, it's 2020. You've got to adapt, survive and move on, haven't you? It opens up opportunities for others, Ollie.
Yeah, it does indeed. I mean, first of all, you've got to tip your hat to everyone involved in the tournament. The fact they reacted so quickly, clamped down on it, and the fact, as a result of that, we've still got a tournament, 6 teams going into it. That's incredibly exciting. And what it does mean is it's open up an opportunity for a bit of local talent, some Bermudan rugby players to come down, fill some of those spots in the team, and actually have a run out against some of the other players from all across the country. So that's an incredible opportunity for them.
Have you bought your boots and your jockstrap?
Well, not the jockstrap because nobody wears those, but I definitely have got my boots. Unfortunately, I am old and slow, so I won't be playing.
Never say never. Never say never. You're itching to get out there, aren't you?
No, I can't believe you brought a jockstrap with you. That's what's interesting. So.
I'm not sure anything's going to go badly enough for me to be taken to my boots. What we are going to do now, though, is take you through the T's and C's of 10s, because there have been some fascinating innovations, some really nice twists and turns as to what you might usually expect in the game of rugby. But let's take you through the tournament format first of all. It's very simple. We are bumping the start of the tournament by 24 hours because of the hurricane that we've had over the last 24 hours or so. So round 1, 25th and 26th, that's Sunday and Monday. Next weekend is round 2, 31st and 1st of November. The team that finishes top of the stack will go straight through into the semi-finals and will be seeded number 1. And on Cup final day, the 7th of November, we'll have 3 quarter-finals, 2 semi-finals and a grand final to crown the winner of Bermuda 2020. I just wanted to ask one quick question around the value of being top seed. I remember Wasps back in the day in the Premiership used to time their run to perfection because they wanted the semi-final, they didn't want to buy, they wanted to play all the way through. Is there anything of value in that, or is it all about taking top spot here?
I mean, it depends who you're asking the hot seat here. From my perspective, it's always going to be that classic challenge of, do you want the continuity within your team, right? The reward for you winning this tournament in the group stages, you get a weekend off. Well, is that exactly what you want, or do you just want to keep continually playing? So do you sort of try and come second? Or I know Vix will throw it out and say no, definitely not. But the beauty of this whole tournament is the intrigue, right? That both the on and off field tactics around what the coaches, what the players do, the rule changes that we're going to go through in a bit more detail. That's what's so fascinating about this World 10 series.
I'll answer it quicker than that. No, they're going to try and win every single game. These are players that have been sat at home, locked down or whatever, try and get an opportunity. They've finally got that out in Bermuda. They'll be looking to throw themselves into this.
And Vix has won a tournament already for the best fancy dress. So
he has.
Everyday winning, aren't we?
Take the boy out of Yorkshire, can't you? You certainly can't take the Yorkshire out of the boy. Let's take you through the points, because actually there have been some interesting adaptations and innovations here as well. 5 for a try, as you would expect. But penalty goals and drop goals downgraded to 2. We want to see the running rugby. But where it gets really good fun is with conversion Jeopardy. And I wish we had a bit of theme music to go with this, because it's going to be fascinating to see how the teams adapt to the fact you can choose where to take your conversion from. 1 point if you take it bang in front, that is guaranteed. 2 if you take it from the 22 and 10 metre line. 3 if you pull it back further. And if you've got a siege gun boot in your team, halfway line, bang in front, and you will get an additional 5 points to those that you have garnered for scoring a try. How on earth are you going to work out where to take it from?
Well, I cannot wait to see these lads that just back themselves to go for the 5-pointer. Now, we know in rugby the kickers are important, but the potential to double your point score having scored a try, you've got to be thinking 5 points. Just back yourself. It's Jeopardy in the title. Could not make this more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, just to add a little bit more spice into it as well. The fact that because of the way it's structured now, you can have rolling subs. And part of the rule is if you've got someone that's, never missed leg day and they're super pumped and they can smash it that 50 yards, they can roll on just for the kick and come back off again. So coaches could have in their locker this one player that they bring on for that 5-pointer to get them out of the trouble and just kick the goals. That's all they need to be there for.
We are at ground zero at the moment, at base camp for World 10 Series. There are some very exciting plans in the pipeline. Do you think we could be looking at a scenario whereby we've got Johnny Wilkinson playing for Phoenix and we've got Dan Carter playing for London Royals, or vice versa, whatever it is, and we've got a 45-minute shootout with the 2 best marksmen the game has ever seen, neither willing to back down?
Well, that's
what the people want.
Exactly that, and that's in a rugby crowd. Imagine if we go this one step further and look at the NFL special teams kickers. They could come in as absolute units as well and grow the game, so the potential is phenomenal.
David Beckham could have a little run out, just dust them off, bring the Predators back into the mixer and slot it over from 50. So, that's what I think is so special, right? Is that you've got 2 sides of the coin here. One, we're reducing the penalties and drop kicks points, so we want more tries, want teams to run it more. Then equally, when you score it, let's make it a bit more interesting, right? How much of a gambler are you? Do you want to throw caution to the wind and kick with this beauty and try and go for the 50-yarder behind you? Or are you going to go like I probably would have to, on the blue, in front of the post with my Toblerone boot and hope for the 1-pointer?
The Don Fox of World 10 Series. It's fascinating to watch. 75% of this you will know, you will love, you will identify with. 25% the unknown is what is going to make this utterly gripping over the next 2 weeks. But lots of stars involved as well. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to 2 of the main characters as we head towards the kickoff of the World 10 Series 2020. Just a quick check on the Globetrotters who have headed to Bermuda for the inaugural World 10 Series 2020. We've got the Asia Pacific Dragons out of Singapore, the London Royals, the Miami Sun from Florida, Columbus have given us the Ohio Aviators, Phoenix from the Middle East, Rhinos from Southern California, and not involved in round 1, but looking forward to seeing them take to the field in round 2, SX10 out of Cape Town. So get on Google, work out which your local team is. Also worth checking out some of the kits. They are fantastic. And on that note, let's bring in a couple of our fashionistas. Not you two, but let's go down pitch side to Elma and Nick. And how are you guys picking your teams? Is it geography or is it the stash?
Well, in my case, it's definitely geography. I'm obviously going SX10, a strong South African contingent there, but also the fact that they are not playing in round 1 is going to unleash that underdog South African energy that makes me fear for the other teams in round 2.
Of course, they can come into round 2, absolutely dominate, and ultimately they're in round 3, the finals anyway. So that's fair enough. I'm looking more at the stash, and I'm going the Miami Sun because that beautiful mix of that sort of lime green and the orange is going to do a lot for me. Orange, not a great colour for me to wear, but I think it's the best stash. Ohio Aviators maybe as well, but yeah, I'll hedge my bets, I think.
The best colour for Nick to wear is a lot of sunscreen.
Right,
now, people who are also going to be wearing a lot of sunscreen when they come out to join us here, believe it or not, we are going to have some fans right here down on the pitch with me on match day. Back at the end of the pitch there, we will have some stands, and Bermudan spectators will come join us out here, which is something that I'm so excited about. Live rugby right here on the grass in front of our eyes, and fans in 2020. It's something to be excited about. Over on the other end of the pitch, we'll have some facilities for the players, and I'll be running up and down here bringing you that flavour. You, however, speaking of flavour, have been doing some research. I have seen it on the socials. Does cliff diving qualify as research when you're the lead commentator?
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to get in amongst it. I joined the APDs and was able to get and do a bit of cliff jumping at Admiralty House. That's one of the things you've got to do here. Also seeking out the best coffee spot. I mean, that's what any professional rugby player spends their life doing. So Devil's Isle has seen, I think, every player from every squad go through and check out the flat whites. Yeah, there's been a lot of fun. The main thing here at Bermuda has been the warm welcome. Absolutely everybody finishes every sentence with "have a good one" and stops you in your tracks. There have been so many smiles everywhere, and not least on the faces of the players who have been so ecstatic to be part of a professional environment, part of being told when to turn up, where they need to be and everything, and they've been having their laundry done for them as well.
And I think that considering the global climate, particularly in rugby, with franchises being liquidated and players being unemployed, finding themselves in very hard times, it's great to have action back on the calendar. Alex, you picking up a lot of that positivity from the players having some rugby to play?
Absolutely, Elma. It has been fantastic to see smiles on faces, and we're obviously sympathetic to all the problems that are going on at the moment, but every so often you've got to turn your attention to the good things in life, and that is what the next 2 weeks are all about. One man who has certainly been on that roller coaster through 2020, the highs and lows of rugby, is Dan Norton. England's 7-star, out of contract, a bit of time with London Irish, and now back in the shop window here in Bermuda, and Nick, the busy boy, has been out having a chat with him.
Yeah, the question in itself is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? I think being here on the island's been pretty special. They've given us some scooters to get around as well, so we've been really able to explore the island. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like paradise being here, being able to swim everywhere most mornings and stuff, and just have a good time together. So yeah, we're all enjoying ourselves. I think the difference, we're used to flying somewhere to play rugby. It kind of has the same feel to that, but obviously the organisational side of it all, the logistics of other people coming from different teams and not really prepping together as a team for that long is probably the difference. But no, I think we're all coming together slowly. There's a nice feel to kind of the way we're getting through the week and looking forward to playing at the weekend. I don't think many people were that keen to play in the wind and the driving rain. So yeah, I think it's a good decision from the powers above. But yeah, again, like I said, another day together, another day to work on a few things. But yeah, we've got 3 weekends here, so yeah, hopefully we can get some good gold out there over the next couple of weeks.
Well, talking of gold, next year is the Olympics in Tokyo, and England Rugby Sevens. It's a crowdfunding initiative to try and get you guys there, given what's happened over the last few months. It's
been pretty productive so far. We've had some really good conversations. Again, we're looking to try and raise some money. We're trying to increase opportunity to play in the Olympics next year. Again, the main goal is obviously looking to 2021 with the Olympics, but at the same time, we as players had an opportunity to try and create a legacy to help the programme not slowly die a slow death. We were trying to give it that lease of life to help, increase investment and sponsorship and try and drive it on the programme for the next couple of years. Give us the same opportunities that we had as players when we were younger. Hopefully we can do that again for the next generation as well. So yeah, that's our goal really, is more long-term than just looking to 2021.
It's been a challenging year for many. What have been the toughest elements for you?
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy kind of up and down year, I think, across the world. We're no different, to be honest. Ours are probably a bit more first world problems than anything else. We've all got our health. Well, some of us are lucky to be out here playing some rugby. But yeah, kind of come March, obviously we got into lockdown in the UK. From there, obviously, back to some normality kind of around August, September time. And then off the back of that, this came up. So yeah, we've been able to get some sort of rugby and team and spirit stuff together, which has been quite nice. But yeah, a real up and down year, to be honest, with everything that's going on with the RFU, etc.
Talk is the London Royals are full of pace and finishing power, but there might be some bigger boys on some other teams. What's the chat, Dan?
Yeah, I think we've got a good blend. I think our yeah, our skill level lends it more towards kind of our strength, lends it more towards our speed and our agility from the sevens. But at the same time, I think we'll still be able to, you know, punch it with the best teams. I think it'd be a different way of playing, where we probably have a different style to most teams. But yeah, we all understand our strengths and where our strengths lie within the team. So hopefully we can get that, you know, out on the field and really showcase those skills over the next couple of weeks. Being a finisher, being a wide player, you always want to be scoring tries. So if it's me or Bowen or, you know, Fodes, you know, whoever it is, it's just about getting some tries over the line and more so having a good time, to be honest. And yeah, just gelling as a group and just enjoying and getting through injury-free of these next three weeks.
What about your future then? What about the next step for you beyond the World 10 Series?
Yeah, like at the moment things are in the air still. Haven't got a club, haven't got any sevens. The Olympics on the horizon, but I think for the short term now, it's just trying to find a job or a rugby club that will take me on and, you know, hopefully fulfill the opportunity of playing some rugby. And I still want to try and play somewhere. I still want to be involved in the game. I don't want to be in a position where I leave now and try and find my next chapter and then 2-3 years later have regrets of actually not pushing on. Obviously, I'm feeling for my body and my age, and the boys reminding me that I'm getting old. But at the same time, I'm feeling good within myself, and I think I've learned a lot playing sevens over the years. And you know, I'd love to try and showcase that again in the 15s world and see where that goes.
Well, we didn't have a total recall counter in the bottom of that interview, but if we did, I reckon we'd be looking at about 15 or 20 mentions of the word opportunity, and I think that is something we're going to hear a lot about over the course of the next 2 weeks. But for Dan Norton in particular, it is brilliant to see him out here enjoying it and getting the chance to stretch his legs in a competitive environment.
Yeah, and you take Dan Norton as the spearhead of this sevens contingent that we're seeing here with Cecil Afrika, William Backer, Collins Injera, big names on the sevens scene. And this for them is that opportunity, it's that hope value that 8 months ago their world's changed. They've got 9 months till they're potentially competing on the world's biggest stage in the Olympics. So this and the atmosphere and that environment and they're just sheer mental health they're going to get from this is significant, and that's why he used the word so much. I'm not sure we can spell it, but he said it a lot.
Let's bring in opportunity with Elma and Nick as well, because we're talking about some of the names that will be recognisable to rugby fans, but some brilliant stories from some of those who are making their way in the game at the moment as well, Elma.
Yeah, so cool to see some names that you wouldn't have read anywhere else before. I've heard about the IMG Academy Combines that they've been running, and they're really going out of their way at this tournament to bring players into the fold so that they can learn from the Ben Fodens and the Frankie Horns and the Cecil Afrikas and the Kenyans. You have definitely started doing a lot of research, particularly on those more unknown names. Who are the three that you're most excited to see run out here on this pitch?
Yeah, I can run the rule over a few. You've got the likes of Jamil Robinson, who is going to be playing with the APDs, the Asia Pacific Dragons. He's a guy that didn't make the combine because he was involved in a car accident. He's been recovering from that, as has his mother, who was in the crash with him. He's been working incredibly hard, and he took an opportunity to prove himself and be included here. You've also got someone like Jimmy Haley, who is with the London Royals. He's spoken about being under the covers at 3 or 4 in the morning, watching a dodgy 7 stream, watching the likes of Tom Mitchell, Dan Norton, AJ Davis playing. He's now training with them, doing sessions with them, and he can't believe it. Aaron Matthews, another name, he's a guy that's playing with the Rhino Rugby team. He came through the collegiate draft team at the MLR, and you know, UK audiences are getting used to this American sport idea of college draft. We like the idea of that excitement. So this kind of crossover element, whether it's NFL players, MLR players, players with a bit more experience, or those being given a chance, it levels the playing field a bit and really opens the door for those to make a name for themselves, and we hope plenty do over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic platform for us all to enjoy the next round of talented players coming into rugby.
Are you going to back a winner?
I'm going to go for it, yeah. I'm going to say APD. They've got an absolute gun of a kicker, Tommy Bell, who I've seen kick from 60 metres out, and in this type of format, with this type of game, with the players around him, APD look good.
Let's go SX10, right? Let's back the underdog. They can't play in this first round from an unfortunate situation. You know, they're going to come back with a blaze of glory at the end and win it.
On the outside lane, SX10 from Ollie Phillips. Well done, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Just before we go, let's take you through how the fixtures pan out on day one. Remember, it is Sunday now that this tournament gets underway. It is not the Saturday because of the problems we had around the hurricane. But we lead out with Miami Sun against the London Royals. Then it's Phoenix against the Aviators, Asia Pacific Dragons against the Rhinos. 3 sessions on Sunday, 2 sessions on Monday as the World 10 Series gets underway. it is almost time for the talking to stop. It never really stops with you two around, but we have got a lot to look forward to. Ollie, Rob, thank you very much indeed. Elma and Nick, well done for all your hard work as well. We are almost there. We are almost good to go. The lights go out on Sunday as the World 10 Series gets underway. I hope you'll be joining us then. Bye for now.